Every year, my church does a trunk or treat event. I love doing these things, and the kids love going from trunk to trunk and getting candy. For this year, I decided the theme for my trunk was going to be Pixar's WALL-E. I knew I was going to need Eve, WALL-E, and some extra stuff to tie it all together. For Eve, I started out with a 3D model that I had made. From this, I was able to get the patterns to make the shape for the head and body and arms later. I cut out EVA foam floor mats, and I put them together using contact cement for both the head and the body. Once these pieces were together, I went on to do some sanding. A lot of sanding. Once the sanding was all done, I hit it with a heat gun to smooth things out a bit. I didn't really like how the head got pointed up at the top, so I chopped that off and put over a layer of thinner EVA foam. I wasn't really happy with the result, but that's how it stayed. In order to attach the head to the PVC skeleton, I needed to glue multiple pieces of wood inside of the head. Once those were glued, I then contact cemented the bottom of the head to those pieces that were glued inside. For the body, I used a special circle cutting drill bit to create holes for the arms to go. Using the patterns that I got from my 3D model, I cut out the arms from hardboard and then some layers of foam. Throughout this process, my bandsaw struggled to get through some of the foam. If only I had a bandsaw that was more powerful, just waiting to be restored. Oh well. The arms were put together from 3 layers of foam on top of the hardboard, with the ends sloped to create a smooth transition along the length of the arm. Once they were all glued together, I then epoxied in a PVC socket to attach to the PVC pipe skeleton. All of the pieces together, they got painted white. Eve's face then got painted in with black, and the eyes were airbrushed in blue. For the base, I drilled a hole in some 3/4 inch plywood and epoxied a PVC pipe socket in. With that done, Eve was ready to roll. To make the title character himself, I'm thankful for 2 sources in particular. One is WALL-E Adventure on Blogspot, which was able to calculate his scale based on the size of an igloo cooler. And the other was an image by Elbow Lopez. I took this image and I printed it out at 1:1 scale. For the tracks, I was looking for different items that would function for the different shapes involved. I used a styrofoam disc that I got from the Dollar Tree. I used an MDF circle that I cut out myself, and a cylindrical cardboard gift tube, also purchased from the Dollar Tree. I found another item at the Dollar Tree that I thought would work well with this. It was a folding iron toy that sounds completely like an iron sounds in real life. Anyway, this got taken apart and modified. The track assembly starts with an MDF support. This then got bulked up with a 2x4 with another layer of MDF on top of it. The rear wheels were made from MDF with EVA foam teeth. To add details, I used foam core board and container lids, both purchased from Dollar Tree. The front wheels were separated with caps from the gift containers that were bought from the Dollar Tree. Then there was styrofoam, which was bought from the Dollar Tree, with a thin layer of craft EVA foam, and then dressed up with some extra hardware from my work that was going to be thrown out. The suspension was made from cylindrical gift containers. These had metal container caps put on them that had rounded stickers that acted as rivets. All of these were purchased from the Dollar Tree. These containers were then connected with cardboard rolls. The front and rear wheels were also connected with a cardboard roll. I then added pieces that I made from the toy iron for some more visual interest. Once painted, I put all the pieces together. They then got wrapped with poster board, and this got dry brushed with a metallic paint. With all the extra strips that come from the end of the EVA floor mats, I was able to cut up some treads. These got hot glued to the tank treads with the texture side facing up. Wally's head was created with spaced out layers of foam core board, and then the eye sockets were made from container for mints. These got hot glued together. In a similar fashion, more was added into the back, and it was covered with thin EVA craft foam. All the way in the back, I used bungee cords for the cables. All of this went together on a frame of more foam core. The neck was made from a vitamin bottle, and then a scoop from some protein powder. To this was added an MDF base, some metal containers for the joint, and more foam core. The neck and head then were put together, painted, and put on a platform to go into the body. For the arms, I started out with cutting some PVC pipe. I cut out some hardboard frames to suspend the pipe over a piece of MDF. The shoulder was created from sandwiching a PVC fitting with 2 mint containers. The shoulder was joined to the arm, and both were wrapped in some EVA craft foam. The hands were made from foam core, wooden dowels, and PVC pipe socket. Once together, some EVA craft foam was added. Everything was put together, painted, and some white vinyl from the Dollar Tree was added for the stripes. Wally's body was made from MDF and plywood panels, put together with wood glue and a pin nailer. For the circular portion in the back, I used a lid from an old container of clay. The shoulder joint was put together by drilling different sized holes in a piece of MDF and then epoxying a PVC socket before placing it inside the body. The track that Wally's arm travels along in the movie was made from foam core. Wally has a handle that comes out of his back. I had this handle lying around, I'm not sure where I got it from, but I added that in the back with some more foam core details to spruce it up. Also in the back are these things that look like hydraulics. I made my version from a cardboard roll from an aluminum foil container and some PVC pipes on each end. For the details in the front of the body, I used a plastic basket for the grating and a resin cast piece for the light. After painting, I applied a printout for his solar panel gauge. This then got dressed up with some foam core. I then proceeded to paint on Wally's logo. The tracks were then attached to the body, followed by the head, and then the arms. Once Wally was together, he was much too clean. So I used some brushes and applied some paints to act as rust and mud. A while back at Dollar Tree, I had bought these metal containers. I discovered that these were perfect for the finishing touches for Wally. I added some paper inside and then applied some hot glue and attached them into the sockets. To create a starry sky, I started with some cardboard from a box to a TV that I had bought and painted it black. For the stars themselves, I punched them out of some white paper using a special punch. These got glued on, and a starry sky was made for the background. When the movie begins, Wally is on a world filled with garbage. So to create that atmosphere, I needed to find some junk of my own. A 5-inch air hose? Sure. Scraps of wood? Got it. An old miter gauge? That works. The broken plastic bin from earlier? Yeah. 1940s electric motor? Sure. And of course I can't forget the Rubik's Cube, because that was featured in the movie. I had to include the MacGuffin that starts this whole movie off, the plant. For the boot, I made sure to save one of my old ones when I bought a new pair. For the plant itself, it started with twisted wire that was wrapped in masking tape. Leaves were cut from thin craft foam, and I put everything together with hot glue. That eventually got painted. For how much hot glue I used, I was really surprised. I went through a whole 30-stick pack and still needed more. To put it all together, I started with the boot and put in a block of floral foam that I got from the Dollar Tree. Next, the plant got pushed into that foam, and then paper was put in to act as soil. In the end, I was really happy of how everything turned out. It was difficult, it took a lot more time than I thought it was going to, but I'm really happy with the results, and the kids absolutely loved it.